Robert retired in 2019 with $340,000 in his 401k and a paid-off house. He thinks he did everything right. His son Marcus has $4,200 in a Roth IRA, no debt besides a car payment, and he thinks his dad is the one who got lucky. They're both wrong about each other, and they're both walking into the exact same trap. It just looks different depending on which decade you grew up in. Here's what nobody talks about. The financial mistake that ruins most families isn't a generational gap. It's the same psychological glitch, wearing a different outfit depending on when you were born. Robert grew up believing a paid-off house equals safety. That belief isn't irrational. It came from watching his own parents nearly lose theirs in the late 70s when mortgage rates hit 18%, according to Federal Reserve historical data. So Robert spent 30 years aggressively paying down principal instead of investing the difference. By 2019, he was debt-free. He was also sitting on a house worth $410,000 that was earning him exactly nothing, while the S&P 500 compounded at roughly 10.5% annually over that same window. Feelings and math are two very different things. Robert feels secure. The math says he left somewhere around $190,000 on the table in opportunity cost. Marcus looks at that and thinks he's smarter. He's not paying down anything early. He's not buying a house at all. Prices in his city are up 71% since 2012, according to Case-Shiller Index data. So he's renting and investing the difference, just like every finance podcast told him to. That part is genuinely fine. Here's the trap underneath it, though. Marcus checks his portfolio 4 to 6 times a day. Every red week, he second-guesses the plan. He pulled $3,100 out during the 2022 dip just to be safe, missed the recovery, and never talks about that part out loud. So what's actually going on? Robert's trap was structural. He overinvested in the illusion of safety through an asset. Marcus's trap is behavioral. He overinvests in the illusion of control through a screen. Different outfit. Same route. Both of them are trying to manage anxiety, not actually manage money. The trap isn't the house, and it isn't the app. The real trap is using a financial decision to solve an emotional problem and never running the numbers on whether it actually does. Let's keep this fair to both of them, though, because neither generation is just making excuses. Robert's caution wasn't paranoia. He lived through 2 recessions and a banking crisis where, per FDIC records, over 500 banks failed between 2008 and 2012 alone. His instinct to de-risk into something tangible was a rational response to a real, lived pattern. And Marcus's hyper-monitoring wasn't built from nothing either. He entered the workforce during a pandemic, watched meme stocks 10 times in a week, and learned that markets can move on vibes faster than fundamentals. Checking constantly is what a brain does when the environment has actually been unstable. So here's where it gets interesting. Robert's fix wasn't to stop owning a house. It was to keep the house and still invest the surplus once it was paid off. Instead, he just stopped engaging with money altogether once the mortgage hit 0. That's the actual failure. Not the asset choice, but quitting the process. Marcus's fix isn't to stop investing in index funds. It's to literally remove the temptation, automate the contribution, then delete the app from his home screen, because research from Vanguard's behavioral finance group has shown investors who check portfolios daily underperform those who check quarterly, purely from emotional trading, by a noticeable margin over a decade. Same lesson, 2 different costumes. One generation's trap was emotional safety disguised as a paid-off asset. The other's is emotional control disguised as data access. Neither of them was greedy. Neither was stupid. They just never sat down and asked the only question that actually matters. Did I include everything? The opportunity cost, the behavior cost, the version of this decision that isn't about feeling safe, but about being correct? That's the real generational divide nobody talks about. It's not boomers versus millennials. It's whoever stops running the numbers first. So look at your own habits for a second. Are you holding on to something, a house, a job, an old strategy, because the math says keep it, or because letting go of it would mean admitting you were never fully in control to begin with? Drop your answer in the comments. I actually read them. And if this is the first time you've seen your parents' money habits and your own laid side by side like this, subscribe.